So now we're going to take a look at the text again, and I'm going to show you how you can find implicit information. Now remember, it's not just going to be written in the text. It won't be found in the words. You have to use your brain and dig deeper to find it. So the first sentence I want us to look at is one reason is they do not need a lot of space. So one of the reasons this text says it's explicit, it's obvious, it's in the words, it's easy to find, that makes tarantulas good pets is that you don't need a lot of space for them. But what it doesn't talk about is what the space needs to look like. Not a lot of space can mean I could put my pet tarantula in my cup right here. But I'm not gonna, because I know that that's not a good space for any animal, especially not a tarantula. So I have some images of some things just to get you guys to see that you really do know a lot more about tarantulas than what you think. So first off, this is a terrarium, which is where tarantulas need to be kept. Look at how big this thing is. There's little people down here. I know it's pretty blurry, but these are all plants. You can go walk inside of them. I'm not sure where this is at. I have to do some more research. But this is not small. You can't fit this in your room. And that's the reason why a lot of people like tarantulas as pets, because you don't need a lot of space. This is a ton of space. And we know that this definitely will not work. Delete. The next one that I have is definitely not a lot of space. Teeny tiny little bowl. Think about what would not make this a good place for a tarantula. Oh, you guys are so smart. There's no lid on the top of it. A tarantula could climb right out, and the next thing you know, he ends up in your neighbor's house, and they're screaming, calling the police, saying there's a giant spider in their house, when really it's your pet. So even though that is a small space, and that's exactly what the text told you. The text said one reason is they do not need a lot of space. There you go, spider. There you go, tarantula. There's your tiny space that's all this text told me you needed. But excuse me, from drinking that water, my tarantula cage water. But you guys know, because that's not where you would keep a tarantula, because you know in your brain. Nobody taught you that. You just know that, and it's in there. Now here is a picture. I'm hoping that you would agree with me that is a nice place for a tarantula. It's got dirt for him to dig in. It's got a nice big rock in the background. It looks like he's already got a hole that he's digging in. There's a bowl to put food, water in. There's some trees and some little plants for him to hide in, climb on top of. And most importantly, there is a lid on the top of it, which means that he cannot escape. So we know that this, because we know that a tarantula is an animal that needs to be kept in its cage. We know it doesn't need to get out. We know that we really don't need to handle it, or else we might risk it biting us, because that's what the text said. Even though the text didn't say that this is exactly what you need, you know that this is exactly what you need because you're smart. That's implicit information. It's information that you had to find. All right, let's go to the next one. So this one says they eat about once a week. About once a week you're feeding them. So first thing I want to show you is this picture right here. So think about this. You are supposed to eat 3 meals a day. That doesn't mean we all do. Miss Acton rarely ever eats breakfast, so I usually eat 2 meals a day. I snack quite a bit during the day, but most people is recommended to eat 3 meals a day. Tarantulas only eat once a week, guys. That's craziness. But now that you know that, go feed your tarantula. Are you going to feed your tarantula ice cream that one time a week? You're like, he only gets to eat once a week. She only gets to eat once a week. So I want her to eat ice cream because I think she deserves it. No, we know that tarantulas cannot live off ice cream. Delete. Oh, I want to make his one treat, his one meal a week. He only gets to eat one meal a week. I want it to be Takis because they're my favorite. No, you all know that Takis will not be good for a spider. And you all also know that whenever this text says they eat about once a week, in your brain, you were thinking the implicit information that you had in your brain, you were thinking, oh, like bugs. Because that's what they eat. They eat moths, they eat crickets, they eat cockroaches, they eat other spiders. You guys learned from the video before that they actually eat other spiders, other tarantulas. Some that are big enough, they eat birds. Now, I don't think that you guys are going to put pet birds or put birds into your tarantula's cage for them to eat. You're probably going to stick with some bugs that are easy to find at the pet store, like crickets and cockroaches, but they would probably eat it, but once a week. So you guys had that implicit information all along. You already knew. You didn't have to need that in the text because you knew it. And then the last one, pet tarantulas can hurt you if they are scared. This does not tell you how they will hurt you. And even when you read the next sentence, Their venom is not deadly, but their fangs can still hurt you. So you know what their fangs are, but it doesn't even tell you what they do with their fangs. Do they use their fangs to talk trash about you? They talk trash about your mom? They talk trash about your hairdo that you have that day? No. We know that no, they're not bullying you to make you cry. We know that that's not what a tarantula is doing to hurt you. Delete. We know that they're not telling you that your outfit's not cute, that you're not as smart as they are. They're not pushing you down the stairs. They're not kicking you. They're not pulling your hair. We know that they're hurting you with those fangs. We know that when you scare them and they decide to bite you with those fangs, that's what you need to be seeing. And that's the reason why tarantulas are definitely animals you keep in their cage and don't let out, because those things are sharp and I would not want them going into my skin either. But you guys knew that implicitly. You know the text didn't say pet tarantulas can hurt you by putting their fangs into your skin, ouch, when they're scared. You just knew that automatically. That's implicit information, information that was hidden in your brain. All right, so go ahead and work on the next drawing that you guys are about to do.